I am actually speeding through this, and that is purely because it is such an addictive read. How did that just happen? It takes a lot for me to be laughing out loud at a book, but why is Brandon Sanderson's writing so humorous in this? Every single time I think I'm safe and I know what's happening, I don't. I get blindsided. Mythical creatures I have never heard of in my wildest dreams. Hi my loves, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. Today's vlog is so exciting. It is very scary, but so exciting. As part of continuing the video series, reading the most popular series on my TBR, we are going to be starting Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight archive. I thought it was only fair to continue the series with this book because the first episode contained Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Now, usually I do a few books in a video. This video is going to be entirely dedicated to Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson because it is the highest rated book on Goodreads, and therefore I feel like it deserves a video dedication. It is also 1,200 pages long, so I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of thoughts. It's a journey, this book. And I'm very excited about that, but I'm also extremely nervous about that. So I figured bringing you guys along this journey will help me, and it will like allow me to express all my thoughts, all my opinions. Of course, this vlog is gonna be spoiler free, so if you haven't read Way of Kings or Words of Radiance or either of them, if you're just curious about starting the Stormlight archive, I'm gonna be giving you my full in-depth thoughts. I have also had so many of you say that Words of Radiance is your favorite book in the entire series. It's one of your favorite books ever. I'm so nervous. I'm trying not to set my expectations too high because sometimes when I do that, the book comes out a little bit like I set my expectations too high. I just set myself up for failure. So I'm gonna go in and make my own opinion. I'm gonna decide whether this is gonna be one of my favorite books of all time or not. Whether it's gonna be a 5 stars or not. Like hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. Little backstory, if you don't know, this is the Stormlight archive by Brandon Sanderson. As I said, it starts with Way of Kings. In Way of Kings, we are following multiple different characters, multiple perspective kind of book, and we are basically set in war times. It is all about forming political strategies, different characters coming to realize their magical or political abilities. Because of the multiple perspectives in Way of Kings, we kind of have multiple storylines in a way. So in the Way of Kings, we are following Shallan, Kaladin, Dalinar, and then we also have interludes in every single part. So there are, I think, 5 parts or something in Way of Kings, maybe 4 parts. I can check that for you. There are 5 parts in Way of Kings, and there are like little interludes after each part. I'm guessing it's going to be a similar layout, similar perspectives in Words of Radiance. I would love to tell you what this is about more, but like truly, it is so hard to explain without giving spoilers. Our magic system is based around light, so obviously the stormlight, and gravity kind of. Certain very magical people can like change their center of gravity to like the wall or something like that. In fight scenes, it is insane because their center of gravity keeps changing, so they can like attack from the roof. It's crazy. And then we also have stormlight, which is kind of like this substance that you can kind of inhale, I guess, like gives you like immense strength or anything like that. I'm very excited to dive into the magic system a little bit more in this. I feel like it was definitely really well established in Way of Kings, but I want to know more about it. I want to know the myths behind it, everything like that. So yeah, today we're going to be starting Words of Radiance, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. I hope you enjoy this roller coaster of a book. I'm sure it's going to be. And yeah, let's get started. What? Absolutely not. What? That can't happen. I'm so sorry, but that, huh? How am I like 100 pages in and Brandon Sanderson has already thrown this crazy of a bombshell at me? We are over 100 pages into Words of Radiance. I feel like I can give my first little update. How did that just happen? If you've read this, you know what I'm reacting to, but I am so confused right now. Wasn't expecting to be caught off guard this early. So I'm a little bit confused right now. Like, am I expected to just move on from that quickly? I am loving seeing our characters. I feel like the ending of the last book, it just had set everything up so beautifully. So there is so much I am so excited to see come from our characters in this book. I'm still kind of in shock. Okay. As I venture into my Brandon Sanderson journey, I do think his writing and his world's becoming a little bit less intimidating for me in like the best way possible. I think either I'm just getting used to his writing more, I'm getting used to his world building and his magic systems, or no, surely that's the only option, right? But it's becoming a little bit less intimidating, which makes it so much funner for me to read because I'm not terrified of missing something that's going to be super relevant later, and I just feel like I can enjoy it more. I can be more immersed in the story. I don't have to be analyzing everything. I did decide not to annotate this book because Way of Kings I did annotate for the world building and for the magic system and the politics to just try and help me get my head around it, which it did. Reading the first few pages of this book, I did go back to my copy of Way of Kings and like look through my tabs to like remember a few things, and so it definitely paid off. I want to just immerse myself in this. I don't want to be thinking about, oh, I should annotate annotate that. Like, I just want to fully read this book and have the best experience I can. Not that if you annotate it, it isn't. I'm not in the mood. Like, if I'm going to be honest, just not really in the mood. I feel like we're already getting hints of what could happen. I just am so shocked at the moment because I didn't think that big of a twist to be thrown in so early on in the book. And I'm like, where is this book going to go? I'm really, really anticipating some of our characters, like pods possibly intertwining. I don't know. I'm just really hoping for that because I need that. I need some of these characters to have a scene together or something. I don't know. I've got these like hopes. I've got these hopes and these ambitions for the book. I also love the mythical creatures. Hang on. In the start of the last chapter, yeah, there's like these little animations of, not animations, Freya, these little drawings of the different mythical creatures in this world. And I feel like so far there's been quite an emphasis on discovering new creatures and recording them and everything like that, which I really, really love. I feel like that's an instant green flag for me in a fantasy book when there's a mythical creature, especially when it's completely new to me. Like when I haven't heard of that mythical creature before, I love it even more. So I need to keep reading this because I need to see what happens after that. Guys, it's so cold and it's just got me in a really bad mood because I wanted some sun by now. What is making my mood a little bit better though is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. So we are in part 2 of The Way of Kings. I feel like we're making a dent. We're making progress. First of all, this is so niche. But one of the interludes, I need to remember her name. It's Rines. Is it Rins? Is that how you pronounce her name? She's in one of the interludes. She was in one or two of them in Way of Kings as well. And I love her interludes. Like, we get so little of her, and yet I love her perspective. It's so much fun. This interlude that I just read in particular was so much fun. I feel like we're delving into the world so much deeper. Like, we're learning about the myths and the mythical creatures. You guys know I love a good mythical creature, and Brandon Sanderson is creating some incredible mythical creatures. Mythical creatures I have never heard of in my wildest dreams. Focusing a lot on Shallan at the moment, which is good, but I'm kind of wanting a little bit more about other characters as well. I do really like her side of things though, and I feel like her side, particularly because she does so much research, is really like giving us a deeper understanding of the world we are set in, and she's kind of learning more about the magic, so therefore we're learning more about the magic and kind of the myths and like the old legends of this world. I think it's really, really interesting, and it kind of helps you put together all this stuff in your mind. Like, you're kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together when you learn and get this new information from our characters. Maybe because I'm not as intimidated as I was when I went into Way of Kings, but this is just hitting so much harder. Like, I think because I know our characters, I know our world already, we're learning more and our brain is constantly working. But I think because we know the foundation of the world, the foundation of the politics, I don't have to like focus on understanding that. I can kind of just be in the moment and enjoy where we're going and enjoy seeing our characters go where they go. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying it, and it's not as intense as the first one. So like, it's intense but in a different way, if that makes sense. I'm also really curious to see whether Warbreaker has a lot of relevance to this, because so many of you were like, you have to read Warbreaker before you go into Words of Radiance. And so I complied, I read Warbreaker. So I'm really curious to see if there are little elements or something from Warbreaker that is going to be in this. I have no idea. This is me theorizing. Like, I do not know. Maybe people just recommended I read Warbreaker because it's a great book. Maybe it has absolutely no relevance to this. Who knows? We will see. But I mean, Brandon Sanderson is like famous for creating these insanely interconnected worlds. So you never know. I love an interconnected series. It's like one of my favorite things to read. I also have been doing the audiobook on and off just now and then, like when I'm getting ready in the morning, brushing my teeth, everything like that. I've just been listening to a chapter here and there. I'm mainly going to physically read this one, but now and then, if my brain is really tired but I'm really immersed in the story, I'm going to put on the audiobook. That's how I'm rolling with this. Oh my god. Okay, chapter 55, the banter in that, the banter was so good between our characters, like just between all of our characters. Literally could not control my laughter. I was laughing out loud, and that does not happen very easily with books and me. It takes a lot for me to be laughing out loud at a book, but why is Brandon Sanderson's writing so humorous in this? I'm just shocked right now. Also, the chapters preceding that, I just got ready and I was reading this while eating breakfast. I was on the edge of my seat. I have never been so tense in a book. Like, I genuinely had no idea what was going to happen because I never trust Brandon Sanderson. Like, I never trust his writing. I never know where it's going to go. And I was so scared that entire time. Those like 3 chapters, literally my heart was pounding for our characters because I just didn't know what was going to happen. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. not see that. What? Every single time I think I'm safe and I know what's happening, I don't. I get blindsided. I am 449 pages into Words of Radiance. My jaw has dropped to the floor so many times. They're not even that crazy of plot twists, but they're just little things that I could never have seen coming. Like they pop out of nowhere and I'm like, honestly, sometimes I get a little bit disappointed in myself that I haven't seen it coming. I am so addicted to this book and it's crazy because it's so long. Honestly, I feel like Words of Radiance is hitting so much harder than Way of Kings just because we know the foundation of this world. And when things start to begin to come together, because nothing has come together yet, let me just say that. Like there is so much up in the air at the moment. I'm getting little hints of what could be in the next like 500 pages. I'm getting little hints, the characters that might meet, or if those characters are going to meet, what is the ripple effect of one person's actions? What is that going to have on all of our characters, even though they may not be intersecting that much at the moment? There are so many little things that you can just pick up on and you can cling to whilst reading this series, and I love it so much. I just realized, like, I feel so dumb right now, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Everyone in my comments when I posted that I had started reading about this was saying journey before the destination, and I thought they were like, yeah, it's a really big book, so it's a journey, but it's worth it because the destination is worth it. Like I thought that it was like a metaphor for the book. But on the back, not that I've read the back of this, it says, speak again the ancient oaths, life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination, and return men to the shards once they bore. The night's radiance must stand again. Those oaths were literally talked about in the last book, but I forgot because I was trying to remember so much. My brain can't keep that much information. Okay, I get it now, guys. You guys are really cool. I love you. There's so much I want to say to you. There's so much I want to say. By the way, the banter in this is incredible. I am shocked. Like, where has this banter come from? It's so good. I'm obsessed. Brandon Sanderson has really just pulled out chemistry in our characters. Not even like, no, literally no romantic chemistry at this point, at least. Chemistry between the characters, like friendship banter, like enemy banter, everything like that is just the banter is so good. There's so much wit to it. Speaking of wit, just saw him again. Well, no, we didn't actually. He was mentioned, and I just get excited when that character is mentioned. As for like the perspective I am liking the most at the moment, I feel like I still really like Cal. Like, I really like Kaladin. I just feel like he has such a fun perspective. He's so in the action. He's in the nitty gritty of it. And I really like that. And I'm really, really excited to see how he develops throughout the story because I feel like he has so much potential. It's crazy. The spine has officially been split, by the way, which, yes, I do crack my spines. I'm so sorry, but I need to be able to read the book comfortably. There's a lot of characters I would like to learn more about. We have been introduced to a few more, but I feel like because I already knew our main cast of characters, adding on more characters on top of that, like, didn't feel as overwhelming as it did in the first book. In the first book, as soon as we got another character, I was like, oh my god, okay, another character I have to remember. I've been mainly reading today, so I think we started the day at page like 300, maybe 350. I can't quite remember. But yeah, we've read at least 100 pages today. I am aiming to get to a page at least 500. I would love to get to page 550 tonight. I don't know if I can finish this. I'm trying to finish it by the weekend. It's literally Tuesday night already. I'm gonna try my best. We'll see. Anyway, that is my little ramble, quite big ramble for now. I'm having the best time ever. Oh my god, why didn't I see that? Is that my favorite? Oh my god, he's back. He's back, guys. I am so happy about it. I have missed you. You were so funny. I feel like I've impressed myself with how quickly I am reading this book because whenever I read a book this dense and this big, I'm always like, it's gonna take me a long time. I am actually speeding through this, and that is purely because it is such an addictive read. Guys, I don't know what it is about Brandon Sanderson's writing in this, but it is so humorous. I said it before and I need to say it again. It is so much fun. First of all, for those who have read it, Patton as a character is like literally one of my favorite characters in the book now. I cannot help it. Brandon Sanderson has this way of creating like almost sidekick characters that just become your entire personality. Like you are just obsessed with them, and every time they appear in a scene, you get happy that you're seeing them. There are so many of those characters for me now. I am obsessed with the sidekicks. I want more sidekicks. Brandon Sanderson just writes them so well. They're like the comedic relief. I am biting my tongue not to say spoilers because I never know how much I can say, but Kaladin and his band with somebody else, it is so good. I am also like, I'm picking up on a romance line. I didn't think we were gonna have romance in this book. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's like definitely, it's very far in that we're only just getting a romance line, but I'm here for it. I love a romance line written by Brandon Sanderson. In Mistborn, I absolutely loved it. Also, guys, we saw one of my favorite characters again. He likes to pop his way through the Cosmere, and he came back and we saw him here, and I was so happy about it. I was kind of waiting for his like bigger moment because we had a mention of him back in earlier in the book, but I was waiting to see him again, to have some conversations with him, and we finally got it. I was so happy. For an update, we are at page 850 and at chapter 64. To be honest, it has only just calmed down. Like, I feel like I was sitting on the edge of my seat for the past like 100 pages. There was so much happening. There was so much that could happen. I feel like now I can take a breath before clearly something massive is about to happen. I feel like I can breathe for a second. There was like this whole period where I was just, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I have absolutely zero trust in Brandon Sanderson when it comes to knowing where a book's going. I have a few like little inklings, but to be honest, I feel like this could go anywhere. I don't even have a negative thing to say about this book so far. I am literally loving every single second. Funnily enough, I feel like I haven't been bored once in it either, which for an 1,000-page book, over 1,000, this is a 1,200-page book, I would just expect to get bored in a book this big. Most books that I've read that are over, even in The Way of Kings in the first one, there were a few moments were very slow. Maybe it's because I'm so obsessed with our characters now that I just am loving every moment we get with them. Also, I feel like this is very much Shallan's book, which I'm loving. I feel like the last book was very Kaladin. Like, we had a lot of Kaladin focus, which, as I said, I love Kaladin, but this is very much like Shallan's book. I'm really liking that. To be honest, in Way of Kings, some of her chapters, like, I got a little bit bored in. Like, they were the kind of slow parts of the book for me. Not in this one. Not in this one, guys. I've been really, really liking her as a character. I feel like she's really, really developed throughout this book, which I've been craving. Like, I wanted to see Shallan's potential, and I feel like we're only just getting the tip of the iceberg at the moment. I feel like she's just a powerhouse of a person, honestly. She's incredibly smart. So we are in part 4. We are a little bit into part 4, and in between every different part of this book, we do have interludes, and we got an interlude from someone that I just didn't expect to be getting one from. In the last book, he was in every single interlude, but he hasn't been in this one. He popped up and I was like, oh, I just wasn't expecting you there. I also just feel like I'm having an easier time reading this because I can visualize it more because we're set in one area. Like, there's a lot of traveling involved, but I feel like right now we're kind of in somewhat close proximity of each other, I guess. Like, it's not as vast as it was before. But yeah, if we can finish this by tomorrow or by Saturday morning, I will be one very, very happy and proud girl. Technically, we could have finished Way of Kings last night, but I wanted to be fully coherent when I was finishing it. So I left the last 100, just under 100 pages to be read this morning. And when I tell you, the stakes are so high. Okay, first of all, we just had this whole like situation with two of my favorite characters. I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with their dynamic, their chemistry. Like, it's just, they just bounce off each other so well. Their banter is insane. Now I'm just like, oh my God, I have two new favorite characters. I have a new favorite book chemistry couple. I don't know. They're not even a couple, guys. I feel like honestly, what is winning in this book for me at the moment, what is the top most favorite thing about this book? The characters. The character dynamic in this is so good. They all complement each other so well, and I feel like because I understand our characters now, I know all of our characters, I've said this a million times, but makes it a hell of a lot less intimidating. I also think the fact that Brandon Sanderson's writing is purposely quite simple and like plain, like it's very easy to understand, helps so much because the actual world building and everything that's going on right now is insane and it's so hard to follow. So very, very grateful that he sticks to such a simplistic but really great style of writing. His dialogue also wonderful. I have like this theory of what is gonna happen, but I don't know. And right now I have so many questions. I just need answers. I need answers to so many. I need to see where our characters are going to end up. How is this book going to end? Because right now the stakes are like up here. Like, how is this going to have a resolved end? I don't know. I don't know. Obviously it's not going to be resolved. It's the only second book in the series. But also the fight scenes in this are so good. They're so interesting. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes in a fantasy book, the fight scene can lose me. I will just be sitting there and I'll be like, okay, I get it. You're fighting with a sword. Like, okay, great. And after like 5 pages of it, I'm like, okay, can we just, like, can somebody win? Not Brandon Sanderson's books. Brandon Sanderson books, they grip me They do not let go. Adolin, cannot make my mind up on him. Do I like him? Do I not like him? In one scene I'll love him, in the next I'll not like him and I'll be like, you're just a little bit of a narcissist. But then I love him again, so I really don't know. Maybe he's just charming me, I don't know. I am literally obsessed with Shallan, and I didn't see that coming, because in the first book her perspectives were they were like interesting, but I feel like a lot of it was just, okay, I'm going to pay attention to this because I feel like it might be useful in like later books or something. Yeah, I didn't have a hard time getting through her chapters, but I was definitely like more excited to read other characters' perspectives. But in this book, she's the one I'm excited to get back to. I'm excited to see where her journey is going. As I said, this book is very much like Shallan's book. It's adding so much to her character. It's adding so much, and I absolutely love it. I could scream. These stakes are not okay. Like there has to be a happy ending, right? Right? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not allowed to happen. No, you can't. You can't do that. Guys, why do I kind of like Seth? I don't think I'm supposed to. Why do I kind of like him? Like, I don't like him. I just feel like sorry for him. I knew it. I knew it. Finally. Of course, the last chapter is in this character's perspective. Oh, I love it. Well, the epilogue. I want to cry. Nothing emotional is happening. I just am sad it's finishing. Oh my god, we just finished The Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson in a week. Guys, I am incredibly proud of myself for finishing this in a week, because Way of Kings took me, I think, almost like 15 days. Like this, maybe less than that. But that just shows the quality of this book, because there is no way I could read just any 1,200 page book in a week. That just doesn't happen. That's just not what I do. I'm not that fast of a reader. I feel like this is like the bookish version of like a marathon. I don't know, maybe we can say we're halfway through the marathon, like we're getting through the series, but that is like what I feel like at the moment. It's like my new personal best. Immediate 5 stars, by the way. Immediate 5 stars. There is not one single thing I can fault in this book. Just like thinking back to it alone, there was so many moments I was just like, I am having the best time absolutely possible. I understand why this is one of the highest, if not the highest rated book on Goodreads. Let this be your sign to start a Brandon Sanderson book if you haven't already, or start the Way of Kings series, because it is truly worth every single second. Highly recommend audiobooks. I did do a few chapters on audio just when I was out and about and like going for walks and stuff. I actually loved listening to the interludes in audiobooks. I read most of it physically, like I'd say about 85 to 90% of it I read physically. Yeah, now and then I put in an audiobook, and I really like listening to the interludes in audiobook, because I feel like sometimes if there's any point that I'm going to get dragged out of the book, it's definitely during the interludes, because I don't know these characters, and if I do, I don't know them well, so I'm not as invested in their stories. When it's an audiobook and when you're like going for a walk or something, I don't know, it added a little bit to it. I feel like I was like kind of forced to be interested in them, and by the end of that chapter I was like, oh, that might have relevance to this, and like I understood them more because I wasn't like letting myself rush past them when I was reading or whatever. I'm sure the rest of the audiobook is really good as well, so that's always like a great option if you don't feel like you can commit to like just reading it physically. It was so good, and that ending was so good as well. I feel like it was the perfect balance of, there's a lot of open ends and there's a lot of opportunity of like what is going to happen in the next book, but there wasn't too many questions. Like the questions that I needed quick answers to, I got, which I am very satisfied with. Like I'm very happy that happened in this book and I didn't have to wait halfway through the next book or something. I actually want to read the 3rd book so soon. Like I'm so tempted, but I have so many big books on my TBR at the moment. I can't commit quite now. But truly one of the best books I have read. This is going to be definitely in like top 5 books of the year easily. I feel like I'm also starting to get a little bit more familiar with their world now, in the sense of like geography. When they're talking about different areas in this world, I can like see the map in my head pretty well, and I understand where they're talking about. So that is really fun as well. And just, oh my god, I cannot tell you how high the stakes were towards the end. Like there was so much possibility and everything was hanging on by a single single thread. And then that last like chapter, I do have questions from that. I do have questions from that chapter. I'm so glad I read it. I'm so glad we dived into it. Definitely thanks to you guys. You guys have been very much pushing me along this journey, and I love reading it for you as well and being able to chat to you about it whilst I'm reading it. I think that brings us to the end of this reading vlog. This is the first time I have dedicated an entire reading vlog to one book. So I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I usually have a little bit more going on in the vlog, like a few different reads, but this was just too good of a book to not dedicate it to an entire video, if you know what I mean. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed seeing the emotional damage that this book did to me, the ups, the downs, the extreme nervousness. Yeah, I hope you had fun watching me read this, and I cannot recommend this enough. Please, please, please go read it. That brings us to the end of today's reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you stayed to the end, thank you so, so much. It truly means the absolute world to me that you stay to the end. I still cannot believe that so many people do. It blows my mind. Let me know if you're interested in starting the Way of Kings series or what you think of the Way of Kings series if you have read it. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in my next video.